bunch of rounds, mission finished. Duggar from the underground, Stevens dead. Bombs are blowing up in town, what's that, E? Your boy was told to bunker down, ex-Marine. I'm sure he was told to shut his mouth, no one knows nothing. Everything is covered, AAA stories and the news is being smothered. The information's critical, shifting analytical. Asphyxiated general Petraeus is ridiculous. National security, leave it up to Hillary. Everything's a mystery, in the name of liberty. Artillery delivery, slipping into Tripoli. Libya's in victory, but we got all these inquiries. In the hot seat, caught another Nazi. Whoops, look again, it's gangster Obama. Kamikaze, cause another crisis. Drop another bomb and then trade up the poppies. Digging bodies, say goodbye Gaddafi. Check the bloody plot that the crooks masterminded. Why you lying? Arming up Al-Qaeda. Dead Bin Laden and you fucked up Benghazi. What you calling on the feds to trade arms for? Lifting the embargo, switching up the cargo. Who you think be on that setting off the car bombs? Look from Mali North that the boys are on board off. Who you think be on that setting false alarms up? Look another Black Hawk, shooting men like martyrs. Isn't it amazing how these bitches think they're hardcore? Eat me raw, they can't fuck with our force. Why you think that they be putting on the golf course? Planning up in arms wars, sending down some orders. Check out all these information sitting on their high horse, decimating my look, setting up a psyop. What's the purpose of me spitting on a rhyme song? Bitches that I taught off, clippings from a time warp. Figure out the message, implicit in the diction. Infiltrate suspicion so the chief can be forewarned. In the hot seat, caught another Nazi. Whoops, look again, it's gangster Obama. Kamikaze, cause another crisis. Drop another bomb and then trade up the poppies. Digging bodies, say goodbye Gaddafi. Check the bloody plot that the crooks masterminded. Why you lying? Arming up Al-Qaeda. Dead Bin Laden and you fucked up Benghazi. Glory, glory, here's the recording. Time to bust in on these crooks giving orders. The Bush, the Walkers, pushing the borders. We got the goods on the boys that we're torching. Caution, talkers, this is important. First you wanna drop the stats, then destroy them, extort them, report them. Law enforcers, double-crossing media, bought this story. Our intelligence, whistleblower evidence. Common law be telling us that we're chosen delegates. We have intimate knowledge of the militants. Clinton pulled a fast one and we call for her imprisonment. Syria is serious, we're imperious, fast and furious. Stop disappearing us. Where did all the missiles go? We're all curious. Only you were guilty in the end, we'll soon be nearing it. In the hot seat, caught another Nazi. Whoops, look again, it's gangster Obama. Kamikaze, cause another crisis. Drop another bomb and then trade up the poppies. Digging bodies, say goodbye Gaddafi. Check the bloody plot that the crooks masterminded. Why you lying? Arming up Al-Qaeda. Dead Bin Laden and you fucked up Benghazi. What? It's a setup. The CIA's corrupt. They're fixing up a smoke screen to cover up in front. 4 dead Americans, what are you protecting? The mercenary green resistance works for our defenses. Intel assets, complicit in a sneak attack. Switching up a blind cheek, wrapped in a hijab. Fuck another jihad, looking like a flash mob. Overthrow a government without a Akbar. Foreign embassies detonating chemistry. Blowing up our bases, then they blame it on our enemies. Measuring the energy, that's the destiny. Embezzling the weaponry, but Clinton lost the memory. None of it is necessary, steps are all preventative. Faking out our treasury for countries in development. What's the penalty? Death for treachery. Execute the orders and then put them up for questioning. In the hot seat, caught another Nazi. Whoops, look again, it's gangster Obama. Kamikaze, cause another crisis. Drop another bomb and then trade up the poppies. Digging bodies, say goodbye Gaddafi. Check the bloody plot that the crooks masterminded. Why you lying? Arming up Al-Qaeda. Dead Bin Laden and you fucked up Benghazi.
From FEMA Region 9 to FEMA Region Deuce, you're listening to Bruce and Jaja.
That's right, yo. I got Bruce over here in Brooklyn, on top of the fort, looking at y'all. That's right, came through as Moses, because I had the smoke sticks. Like I told you, non-stop doing damage control. What's up, y'all?
All the time, anytime, we keep it live right here on Damage Control / the Bruce Montalvo Show, and it's just so awesome to be here in Brooklyn, you know, former home of the Dodgers, and it's just, I almost feel at home over here.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of buildings going up, you know, like, I guess some people think that New York's on the down and out, and we're going to be bombed or whatever, but when you see for you with your own eyes, there's buildings being built left and right. We even got a FEMA stadium right down the block.
No kidding. That's right. Jay-Z's FEMA center that looks just like a Horus eyeball, just looking down at everybody, at all the unsuspecting shoppers, right? And you know what's funny, Joe? That place was supposed to be, because I spoke about the Dodgers, it was supposed to be the stadium where the Dodgers would play.
That's right across from the stadium.
Yeah.
You were looking at it. So why don't you talk about the Dodgers or something? You were discussing it with me about the Dodgers and California, and policeman looked at you kind of funny with your Dodgers shirt.
That's right. We were walking around. I was wearing a Dodgers shirt. Well, no, it's just I was telling you that when they left Brooklyn, they gave them an area called Chavez Ravine, and being the proud Latino that I am from LA, I know the story that the mainstream media or the Dodger organization will neglect to tell you, the fact that they took that land from a lot of Mexican Americans that lived there. They had their homes. They paid them nothing for their homes. They're like, here's a check. Now get the hell out. A lot of people stood there in front of the tractors and said, no, I'm not moving. This is the shopping center looks exactly like what their Ebbets Field, what their stadium was, and right across.
And that was supposed to be where the original Ebbets Field was, but the real.
No, not the original. The new stadium, like the where Dodger Stadium was supposed to be. That was where they wanted to have the new Ebbets Field. What was where they played here in Brooklyn before. So it's just nice to walk around the city and see all these sites that I read about when I was a kid. We were reading about, the Dodgers and, Jackie Robinson being the troublemaker that hates to lose, just like myself, and I hate to lose. I'm out to win, whether it's in the court or wherever it may be. I like to win like yourself. Job.
That's right. Well, you were talking about plowing people over, and the Latinos over in your part of the hood, but over there, down by this FEMA camp that's going on, the Barclays Stadium, funded by the Brits, Barclays, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So
Barclays Bank.
Exactly. All those people were bought out and practically bulldozed. A lot of people who did not stand up, and a lot of them were Latinos and blacks. And of course they get bulldozed by everyone. But the few people stood up, and I heard their fights against them. They were like, no, we don't want to get bought out. And they got bought out. But they held back, and they got up to $1 million. But only if you were mad slick with it, you know what I'm saying? You were mad Jew with it, you know what I'm saying? Because otherwise, if you were just a Latino, I can't get a lawyer, they're too expensive. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna take my $50,000 and be happy. And that's what they took. A lot of people, that's how they plowed them.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, they did a lot of people dirty to make that. How much they charged them tickets? $120 to walk into there to see some crap.
Oh, man. Especially since the team here, the Nets, are in the playoffs. I bet those tickets are overpriced by a mogul, Illuminati mogul, pig, swine, Aleister Crowley wannabe in Jay-Z, who just deserves to have just a bus just unload just feces on him, you know what I mean? That's what I think he deserves.
My peoples, now you know why I'm chilling with this nigga. Oh,
absolutely. It's just they use these clowns, these jugglers of the Illuminati to galvanize the African Americans, Latinos, everybody, but mainly their people, their own people. They galvanize their own African people with these guys. Oh yeah, I'm this, I'm for the community. I built that center because Brooklyn lost the Dodgers and I wanted to bring a team back. No, he's putting it there. He's being given. He's given government funds. He's doing it so he can enslave you when the time comes, when they got the National Guard down the streets kicking your ass to take you to Jay-Z's stadium. Do you understand that, people? I know you do,
yeah,
Joe.
With all the Katrina, and this is government mandated stadiums that's in the FEMA manuals. It's totally there. It's for pandemics, for in case of an outbreak of sorts. But in case of a flood, or in case of I don't know, we get a torpedo into ballistic missile.
Oh wow! Well, that would probably come via Kim Jong-il, or Un, his son, right? One of those North Korean intercontinental ballistic
torpedo missiles.
Missiles,
Yeah, like they did
operations.
To Haiti. And they did to Fukushima.
Right.
If they do that to Brooklyn. But they wouldn't do that to Brooklyn. There's just all these buildings that are being built up. It's not going to happen here. They're spending too much money. They love it.
You say that, but Obama's going around fear-mongering that Manhattan is going to be nuked. And, of course, they want to blame it on our old friends, the commies, the Russians. We're all in bed with these, but not us, but, the government is in bed, obviously, with all these other entities.
Yeah, it's all Dr. Strangelove. Did you see Doctor Strange? Remember at the end they were all playing, Russia, we should just bomb Russia, and China's like, oh, Russia's in the room with us. Oh, and Russia's like, yeah, go ahead, keep going,
That's right. It's all fear mongering. They don't want to bring among the apocalypse unless told so by the Antichrist in some type of demonic ritual out in Romania. This is when the time is right for you to strike. Am I right?
Yeah. Star Wars all over again. Now, it's all money wars.
Not in their best interest to nuke each other.
Nah, they're all just trying to create smoke screens so they can get the riches. It's all about the riches. I mean, this whole Boko Haram,
right?
It's on this African thing. I mean, it's all about. Well, that's particularly with the kids, but their whole African, the whole Coney 2012 thing. It's all about getting the gold, the oil, the minerals, the diamonds. And they can figure all that out. Right. They know exactly where that stuff is. They know they could just
use it with heart.
Yeah, it's all like sonar. It's all sound. It's all done with sound. Just anybody, just watch a movie like a little harp film. I guess it's like When Angels Harp from the Sky, from Angels from the Sky. But you can see any other like harp films and on YouTube, and they talk all about how harp is used, not just like for tornadoes and hurricanes or. I don't know. People
it might have been Holes in Heaven.
Holes in Heaven, yeah.
I'm not sure.
Okay, all right, that sounds right. Yeah, Holes in Heaven. They talk about the sonar, and it's actually, you can be used for sound reading. And they could figure out where the gold is and the minerals, and just by the waves, the sine waves or whatever kind of fucking waves they use. But
right. Absolutely, and it's just very mind-boggling and frightening to know that they have these terrorist groups, Boko Haram. They're killing people, left and right all day. They're like the Mujahideen, aka Al Qaeda, the new boogeyman, McCarthyism all over again. We have a boogeyman to blame, and little do they know that the Nigerian government is now sharing technology and communication with the Korean government. Now, this could very well be a well-regulated sex ring that they have, because they could have a demand for these poor children that are being kidnapped from Nigeria. You have the Nigerian government now teaming up, partnering up with the North Koreans. And it's just very scary to know that you have their leader saying that he drinks blood, and it's like a page from his father's playbook, Kim Jong-il. I mean, you told me he was kidnapping Japanese actresses?
Yeah, well, Kim Jong-il was known for drinking the blood of people. I mean, he stated that he would drink it to keep young, and it really is supposed to do something to your blood, like rejuvenate it of some sorts. So my first inkling was about this the Kim Jong-un, and I was like, oh, well, maybe he's kidnapping, like all those kids, maybe he got something, going on with Nigeria. Right, so I was like, yeah, because his father's all up in it. Maybe he's got a fetish for the black kids because he thinks they're even more disposable.
Wow.
So yeah, because it wouldn't be so found out. I mean, you can't just.
The same thing could be with that shipwreck that happened in China, right? How they can't find those kids. I mean, who knows?
Was it China or was it in South Korea?
South Korea, right? Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, South Korea. Though that's the first thing I was like. Oh, either maybe those kids aren't even missing some. I mean, maybe they're not even dead, some of those kids. Maybe they were, like, immediately hijacked, you know. I mean, I think there's a market. This is really weird how these back-to-back incidences that are happening with kids disappearing. And, you know, from these Nigerian kids, get the kids, and before that, we couldn't really empathize with the South Koreans. But the first thing that went through my mind was Kim Jong-il taking these South Korean kids, and you know they could just been a covert operation right there, right under the water, like some torpedo submarine, part submarine, part not even torpedo, but like maybe some fast ass submarine coming through, you know, like guys just grabbing the kids like whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. That's it, never to be seen again. Disappeared, gone off the face of the earth.
Wow.
Mission accomplished. Get 50 kids for him. You know what I'm saying? They got 50 kids. They can stick them all up in cages. You know, they'll never be seen again.
Of course, and then they'll put up some monkey, swine bastard like Brian Williams to tell you otherwise. Tell you it was a shipwreck gone wrong. One of the worst ever to happen in that region, right?
Yeah. They'll just look at you straight and put your fears to rest that it's nothing that really matters. Just like the plane that disappeared. It says it happens. A little weird, right? Just a plane disappearing out of the freaking sky. It's just, okay, get upset for a couple of weeks and then never question it again. You know what I'm saying? Just bring it like to, another level, drone it out, drone, bang it out, forget about it. And then that's it. They don't come to any conclusions, solutions. They never, it's just like all these anomalies. Oh, we're just supposed to like accept all these like anomalies and like never go deeper than just like what they tell us. And what the fuck happened to that? Yo, that plane was so disappeared in so many ways. And
that's right.
What's amazing, the first thing I went to look for was who was on those planes. And I had heard it was like something IBM. I was like, nah. Then I looked into it. No, it was this scalar energy.
It was 5 patent holders from a company called Freescale Semiconductor.
A scalar energy company that deals with cloaking and all kinds of invisible disappearing acts and
Tesla technology.
And Tesla technologies.
Absolutely. And guess who, ladies and gentlemen, owns stock in this company? Who owns this company pretty much through Blackstone? It was none other than Jacob Rothschild. You have Jacob Rothschild, who owns Blackstone, who then owns this company, Freescale Semiconductor, and they have these Chinese employees with these patent holds. They have these patents, these very exclusive defense contracts, and they just happen to disappear. These very important VIPs working for defense just happen to disappear out of nowhere. And now all the money goes to Mr. Rothschild for this technology.
Yeah, they were trying to actually buy out the patents they were trying to buy them. They said no. And that's what they did. There was one guy they were trying to buy it, and then there were 5 guys that owned the patent, and 4 guys were on that plane. So there's one guy that still owns the patent that didn't die. That's how it goes.
Wow.
Yeah. So we don't know. Those patents have to do with scalar energy, which connect to that whole HARP thing, because HARP is scalar energy.
Right.
And people get that confused. There's talk show hosts out there. They're always talking about mind control and HARP. Not weather modification or using it for various techniques and different things like locating where gold and silver and diamonds are, or using it to heal, like you can investigate it, but scalar energy is a healing energy, and it's been used in a lot of devices like 0-point energy wands and pendants, and they heal your body, and larger doses, they move clouds, and that's why you get like chemtrails and like a lot of weather modification operations go on, because people don't understand where HARP comes in, because everybody's really dumb. They like think that it's okay like to think that it's all about mind control and HARP. But no, actually, scalar energy pushes the sprayed air around. That's why if you looked at the patterns, they would be actually in the sky. The clouds would have like some kind of loop to loop or hoops. These like sine waves, SINE waves, and they all look like a pattern. Like it was blown that way.
Right.
So.
Oh, it's incredible. I mean, they're using HARP again to scan for gold, like in other instances that we're going to get to in a bit. But it's just mind blowing that these 20 employees just happen to disappear. Like also stating that they could have used some exclusive cloaking weaponry, some type of weaponry to just disappear the plane. I mean, where did this plane go? The Bermuda Triangle? It just disappeared out of nowhere. They can track your every phone call, but they can't find a jet, a freaking flight MH370. I don't get it.
Yeah, some of these other talk show hosts were saying, "Oh yeah, it's maybe some like intergalactic space alien." I don't know. They would talk about kidnapping and hijack, but that's just like a disinfo thing. I think I'm sure, but I know I think it's totally experimental because they probably cloaked it. They probably didn't go down. It didn't disappear. There's no black box that ended up in the coral reefs in Australia, wherever the hell they said it ended up. And these people are either being experimented on, on the real world, or possibly just our own people, our Americans like experimenting on them.
That possibly could be. I mean, they could be held at this base that's not too far from where the flight could have, if it did crash land, there is a base called Diego Garcia. I mean, they could be held captive there, Guantanamo style.
Totally. Underground bases even.
Right.
They could be building total underworld cities and start like, maybe they could be starting a whole population underneath the world. Like, oh, there's enough people here, we're going to repopulate like an underground world and like use them as a slave culture of brains. I mean, who the fuck knows about? I don't trust. I've seen too many people like do too many crazy things that, nothing surprises me anymore. I mean, I saw what went on in Plum Island, all those experiments and those chimeras, and oh my God, and you just can't imagine that anything's possible with these psychopaths because they got money up the gazoo. They just people give them money like the Get Coney campaign. They just gave them like how many $10 million of donations. Where'd they do with that money? They went into it was all ordered by Obama, not by Obama, but by his officials, and it was all like done because of African. African wants to like start wars. They want to go in there. They're using HARP to know where exactly pinpoint where their minerals are. So they're and they're using propaganda, with triangles all over it, with Jay-Z, Rihanna, all like, and John Skull and Bones Kerry, all behind it. It's like, oh man, who's gonna get the mines over there? They're getting this money. They're using images that don't belong to them, motherfuckers. I'm gonna get your asses. But yeah. All kinds of propaganda, the best images just to sucker punch you.
And to sucker punch the African community into accepting, Africa to be just taken over by the U.S., to have their natural resources depleted by the oligarchy. It's incredible.
Yeah, they just want to outwit everybody and stuff. I mean, and also like, I had this other idea about those girls, the missing girls that find all these kidnapped. Right. So I'm thinking that these girls were possibly not only being sucked alive by Kim Jong-il, but potentially there's a secondary market altogether for fetishistic, hot, rich, like crazy,
disturbing.
Like the crazy fetishist men that like have more money that then they know what to do with, and they have a real market for black girls, and that's the only way they're gonna get them also. And that could be, I'm already seeing it, because that's riches. That's also part of wealth, Some people, they don't care about, the money anymore. They have enough houses. They want a black girl. They want a black 14-year-old girl.
Oh my God.
So they're like, like in Russia and Siberia. No, bring me a 14-year-old African. I want that.
Wow. They're disgusting. They're disgusting, atrocious human beings that, if capital punishment were instituted, I would gladly like to see them executed, by gunfire or by an electric chair. Or worse. Because they've been doing far worse to us free, sentient human beings for way long than I could ever live. This has been going on for forever.
Yeah. So, anyway, we were talking so much about this hardcore invasion with space invaders, people coming invading land that doesn't belong to them. It kind of threads into this whole Bundy campaign to help and rally behind this guy that they used and abused too in the media. Right? He was like,
and gaslight,
gassed him up.
I mean, they put him on Hen Peck's show, and then Hen Peck goes around and says, I'm against provocateurs there, but then, without mentioning any names, he's friends with the provocateurs that are over there provocateuring. And I know this, ladies and gentlemen, for a fact. Okay, this is more than just some federal land grab issue. Okay? Literally, like I said in the article, you can catch it at montalvoreport.com, titled Molly Corp and Communist Chinese Want Bundy Gold Ranch. You go there, you're going to realize what's really going on. The San Francisco 49ers might as well just pack up and bring their game over to Nevada and play there, because that's where all the gold's at.
That's right. And they just probably didn't want, they were just telling everybody it was some patriot movement.
That's right. That's right. They bring these people out there, they rile them up, they taser them, and all the while the people that are tasering them are working for the government. The BLM is Academy, XE Services. I want to say it right. Okay, these mercenaries. Okay, and they're not being mentioned by these just McCarthy the communists are coming windbags. Okay, they're not being mentioned by these would-be reporters out there, and they're claiming to say that they're patriots. The Battle of Bundy Ranch, I was there. Go buy a T-shirt at my website now. I was there. It helps support my backing of Academy and Blackwater and all these pig fuckers. It's more than just solar energy contracts on the line, being presided by Harry Reid and his gay lover Geraldo that are on the line. It's way more than that. You have just government issued media, government provocateurs being put there to rally up the people, to get them to get in the cops' faces and call them bitches, call them assholes, anything to get them tasered. Hell, they could even stage those events.
Yeah, there was some people that were even trying to say, we're going to get guns. We're going to bring the guns in. We're going to have, don't worry about that. We'll try to keep everybody in order. They're taking the commando positions, and
that's right.
Talk show hosts are going through. It's just unbelievable. And first thing I said on this one was, the Chinese are up in this bitch. Yo, tell me about the gold content around that area. They can figure out where the gold is. They're probably selling off of gold. So we go looking. Oh yeah. So then there's like gold in the arena.
Right. It's called the Jarbidge district, and they hadn't really looked at it much since the 1930s. But then they went back in there in 2007, and it's just very plentiful in natural resources, rare earth minerals,
gold. That whole area is filled with.
Right, and the Chinese were getting ready to announce that they got 500 tons of gold. What is it? 5,000. Sorry about that. 5,000 tons of gold. So it's just an area rich in gold. And
I knew they harped it. I'm like, they must have harped that shit. And they figured out where the gold is, and they're right up in there. and if they want to resell that land because America's up for grabs. And if they can get them out any which way they can, they already been known that that's where they've been gold because that's right by Nevada, and there's like 4 other mines there, and it's all the thickest is in gold. And not 2 hours later that we were talking about, and I said, I bet there's gold there. The Chinese are there. Michael Savage was talking about rare earth minerals. He didn't mention gold. He mentioned like 20 other minerals. And he said rare earth minerals. And I said, oh yeah, they had that stuff too. But they're really there for the gold. And everybody's playing themselves. Because if all they had to do was say gold, and everybody would be there with their hatchets and shit.
Absolutely. Like I said, it would be the next great American gold rush since 1848. And Harry Reid and his gay lover Geraldo want to keep the gold all to themselves, ladies and gentlemen. And the Chinese as well. It's a big old menage a trois of oligarchical psychopaths and pigs over there just trying to hog up the gold.
They're playing Monopoly on everybody else's property. We own this. We can get them out with these legal ramifications, with these logistics, these legal clauses. These made-up laws,
Right.
Like, let us just kill their animals.
That's right. No, I sympathize with Cliven Bundy. Okay? It's like if they came in and took my house, your house. So you don't own this house anymore. You catch him and I'm gonna make a sandwich in your kitchen.
Well, you know what they're doing right now?
Going in there and they're killing this man's cattle. It could very well be XC, AZ, fucking XC, ABC services, what have you, shooting these cattle, having a great old time, thinking they're, their most hated enemies while they're shooting at these cows. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, they're totally. You know what they're doing right now? They're going in and they're taking exactly what you said. They're going into people's properties. They got this whole fracking thing that's going on where they said we own the mineral properties from underneath your land, and you only own it all depends on what district or on what your lease actually says. But people are actually going in. They're doing it now. They're going into communities saying, We bought the mineral properties from underneath your damn house. And these people with houses, they can't even say shit. These motherfuckers are going to be fracked. The whole properties are going to be fracked. That whole neighborhoods are going to go with the sinkholes. Are going to go kaboom. And these people can't even stand up for their rights. They don't even have there's no laws there to protect them because they don't even own those properties. So, yeah, and how do they know that there's those minerals underneath those property? How do they know? They just say mineral rights. That could be... quartz. They could have sapphires there. Maybe they have a big emerald section there too. There's a million. They could have lithium. They could have whatever the hell they fucking have. America is a plethora of minerals.
That's right. And it's to me they're using this Cliven Bundy man, this person as it's like a puppet. They're using him to just spew out, your Paula Deen, your Donald Sterling, we hate the colored folk type rhetoric. You know what I mean?
That's how they try to get.
And they're over there. They're harassing all sorts of. I don't even want to call them minorities on the West Coast, but they're harassing these journalists. I mean, hey, do you really think that's a smart idea? You're saying that you're from Los Angeles and you broadcast from Los Angeles when, who knows? These broadcasters might broadcast out of a shithole in San Bernardino. I don't know.
Yeah, some garage somewhere.
Well, who knows? You know what I mean?
Could be anywhere.
But you have these people harassing certain people. Just based on the color of their skin. You have Cliven Bundy stating, black folk were better under slavery. You got Donald Sterling saying that he doesn't want any black people at his Clipper games. Honestly, just since I left LA's a wreck. You got, homosexuals shooting up people at Santa Barbara colleges because they didn't get laid. Maybe they should have told him instead about the Bundy Ranch. They should have told that kid. What was his name?
About the Bundy Ranch.
They should. Yeah, exactly. You took it right. You took the line right out of my mouth. They should have told this kid Elliot Rogers.
Yourself open for that up a double uppercut.
I did. Jaja's a good boxer too. You know what I mean? I've seen some of her moves, and they're not only sexy, but they're very dangerous as well. You made me lose my track of thought with your unique
Okay,
input
stop
there.
stop.
No, it's fine, But like what I'm saying, this kid in Santa Barbara, didn't he kind of look like one of these like fake ass GQ models with the little thin bird lips? I mean, if he really wanted to get laid, he didn't have to go out and kill all these people like he did. His dad was an assistant director to a movie that's filled with all sorts of dystopian Orwellian Eric Blair type Illuminati occultism. I mean, this kid easily could have gotten some escort to come in and do the hibbity dibbity with him. Am I wrong?
Yeah, he looked like a Buffy the Vampire Slayer next
Some
actor.
type of Twilight asshole, right?
Yeah, I mean, he had the total like skinny, gaunt look. Heterosexual, couldn't figure. Totally the puffy lips, the little eyes, and he sounded so scripted. The kid sounded like he was reading a bad script. I mean, I can't believe this kid is even blamed for this death. He had leather hand. The steering wheel was leather. All he had to do was go to the Chicano neighborhood and pick up a couple of bras and just.
Oh man, we would have hooked this place up with some of the best upholstery ever. I mean, that shit would have been just like Cheech and Chong's van from Up in Smoke and Nice Dreams. That would have been his ride. Well, they always had a different ride every.
He would have gotten some girls just riding through there. He would have gotten some girls. He would have gotten, whatever he wanted. It's a total script.
The guy was in a BMW, for crying out loud.
Like you said, he could pay for it. There was a bad script. Oh, and I hate women. He sounded like just an angry, confused bisexual or heterosexual. I think he's bisexual and probably maybe even more gay, but I don't know. But
whatever he is, we know one thing that this reeks of. It reeks of MK Ultra. It reeks of some type of government propaganda, some Sandy Hook type just scenario.
Perfect, because you know what? In Sandy Hook, we're going to see, and people don't even realize this, but there's another video, and you saw it, that came out, was like 2 years after Sandy Hook, that showed all these kids in a football stadium.
That's right.
And they were the exact same kids, but they were plumper. Like, they were like 5, 10, 15 pounds, and they were like 2 years older, so it was kind of hard to tell at that age group because they were like 9, changing to 11, like 10, changing to like 12, so they held that funky kind of age, that look in there from their babyish to getting a little older, so you can't really tell. And they changed them up. They were all together in the football stadium. So this kid, guarantee he's going to be in a vampire movie about like something else like Illuminati. This is a game. Because you're right about that Hunger Games. The few things that we saw of it was total 1984 dystopia, fake control grid, get a chip.
That's right. They were chipping them, and in just the part where they're accepting them into this FEMA camp type place, the District 12 or whatever. They're putting the mark of the beast, what some people might believe, just the Motorola RFID chip right in them. Bah, just, chipping them. You got your serial number just like in Nazi Germany.
Yeah, and then it was a whole Jaguar paw, fight to the finish kind of a, everybody's starving kind of, I don't know what
That's
the hell.
right.
It's sort of corny, and I can't stand American movies. They're just so cheesy these days.
Right. That's why you and me like to, have a nice little wine and watch a French film maybe once in a while, right? I'm letting the world know I appreciate French films. They got a lot of good action, ladies and gentlemen. They've been watching some of the West Coast gangsta, gunslinging films. I'm sorry, I can't leave the West Coast altogether. My love.
No, I mean they made you. I mean that's cool. I mean, I can't really talk about hip hop over there right now because I'm angry at some of the tip tops over there right now. But bringing it back, yeah.
That's right. Speaking of hip hop, I spoke about the whole Clippers thing, that Donald Sterling thing, and to me, it's it's an organization that's not talked about, and you have some cojones to talk about this organization, and I do as well. We all know it. It's the Black Illuminati Mafia, the skull and bones of just the Black Mafia. You're talking about the Boule here, Magic Johnson, just trying to sweep this team from under this man's just from under his feet. And the man's a complete racist. I'm not siding with him. Okay, he's treated Latinos like crap in Los Angeles, Latinos and blacks. Okay, he's gone to war with them in courts. He's denied them access to fair living places, rent and whatever. As I've seen on the internet, there's tons of cases of him going to court. Primarily, it looks like discrimination, and this man is just a stupid bigot that likes to fight in court. I mean, he's not so stupid. That's why he gets his lawyers to do all the talking for him. But to me, this is just an attempt to just use another dumb racist comment or some type of person that's just susceptible to this because they're already kind of racist to begin with. And they put him out there, and he has something that they want. Okay, the Clippers organization is thriving. The fact that I'm talking about the Clippers as an Angelino and not the Lakers, and it's bad basketball just talk in Los Angeles when you're talking about one of the worst teams ever in the Clippers. So I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, it's more than just a racist rant. They're using this to just propagate a race war against whites, blacks, Latinos. Just you can't say this, you can't say that. This type of political correctness. Now they want to change the Washington Redskins name because it's offensive. Okay, it's just race, and we know who's racist. You know who's racist by when they open their mouth. But this is much more than just racism with this man. It's the Boule laughing in your face. It's Jay-Z saying I could wear a chain that says anti-whites or whites are devils at his games, and the black players could call each other's this and that, and make fun of this or that, racially or what have you, and they won't get in trouble. But wait till one of their girlfriends puts something out, something that was supposed to be private. That's probably why I back Sterling up to a certain extent, because I feel he's having his Fourth Amendment right obstructed. But to make a long story short, what do you make of Jay-Z being able to wear, attire symbolizing that he's part of these secret societies and these groups that openly hate white people, Caucasian people? But Donald Sterling, who knows? He could have been intimidated by, his then girlfriend seeing this man. He's a racist. I'm not going to cover up for him. But what he said was in private. He didn't say it in public, and the NCAA or whatever was going to give him an award knowing that he treats black and Latino tenants like crap, but they dump him over this widely publicized issue. But what do you make, Job, of this double standard that these Boule members can be racist, but the white man can't?
Well, that's how it is. I mean, that's what they used as puppets to propagate a particular issue. They themselves personally, they have friends that are white. I mean, Latino. They don't really care on a personal level, guaranteed. On a private sector. On the public sector is another game because they're told to have particular issues, and they're told to divide and separate the masses. Well, they can all sit back and and smoke the best grass.
So hydroplane in the banks while you and I are counting. And the rest of America are counting their last dimes.
Yeah. I mean, they just want to, they want to be a vegetarian. Okay, let's push this. What did Gaga do? She pushed the crop shit. The GMO. Oh, yeah, she was pushing it on Twitter. So she doesn't even know what the hell it is. I mean, they just said today about Monsanto. They're having that Monsanto march.
Right.
And they just said today that there's enough land and there's enough mineral, great fertilized land that you could use to create food.
That's right.
On Earth. and in America, and there's no need for genetically modified crops at all. Not for any hunger. So it's all bullshit. Speaking of the Hunger Games.
That's right. And it's just awesome to see other countries just step up in the world, other countries in the world stepping up to Monsanto. Like in Mexico, for instance, they're not allowing any more GMO corn. And, corn is a great staple of, the Mexican people. Okay, so...
Yeah, that's really terrible that they would even consider to do that. But that would be the fastest slow kill for the largest amount of people if they can get hold of Mexicans. If they can get the corn for their tortillas.
Right.
Yeah, that's how they do, That's how they do Americans, too. They got them through the corn, the soy, the cottonseed. What else? I mean, they're getting at you through the zucchinis.
Right.
So many vegetables and fruits. I mean, there's a difference between Monsanto genetically modified and genetically hybrid. And people don't understand. Yeah, you can hybrid certain things. It doesn't mean it's modified. Modified organism is usually taken from the genetic coding, which is manipulated. And they're using things like the exoskeleton of a spider to...
That's right.
Genes.
Create some type of fish.
Yeah. And they're mixing it, all these things into fish, wildlife, plants, humans. They were humans.
As if fish couldn't get any worse.
Oh my God! So we won't even talk about Fukushima. Today. They were just saying that the San Franciscan coast, they didn't have any. The officials said the air is safe to breathe. Basically, there's no radiation.
Sure, one of those moments.
Yeah. No way that there's no radiation. But there are definitely people walking around with those calibers, those Geiger counters, and they're coming out with videos with actual readings. But no. The officials say that it's safe.
Possibly conjoined bleeding whales. Who knows what else is out there? But it's a travesty. I mean, if you were worried about mercury in your fish, you need a little bit of cilantro, maybe you'd be okay, but now you got to worry about growing another toe, or who knows.
But and genetically modified food is so dangerous, and people don't even realize how bad it is, and they keep saying that, why would America let them have it if it was bad at all, and why go through the labeling? I mean, how could you not even push for labeling? This shit is so toxic. It causes Morgellons disease. People are like getting these weird, bizarro diseases where so all these nerves, and they replicate into plastic, almost nylon, fibrous kind of entities in your body, and they're like neurons. I don't know what the hell it is, but it's all multicolor, and it's fibrous, and it's indetectable for the average doctor. It's a new disease that's introduced into the populace, into humans, and they can't detect it because it's comes up as 60 different diseases. So you might have 3 or 4 or 5 symptoms for different diseases, and the doctor will think it's 10 different things, put you on 10 different medications, but it's just Morgellons coming out, from which, it affects your bowels and, your Parkinson's and all kinds of a million different things, fibromyalgia, weird, bizarre things that when put together. But that's what happens. I mean, when you mix animals and animal life with human life, or animal life with mammals, they're mixing bugs and into apples and into the DNA, and mixing, like you said, with fish. But the fish there, you wouldn't even touch these fish anymore. They're frankenfish. They got teeth and stuff. They'll eat each other. I mean, I don't know. I mean, they're just, you can't touch a fish. Basically, can't eat any of this salmon is toxic unless it was caught up with fresh water of rainbow trout. I don't know what to eat. It's so toxic.
These fish are probably uglier than that blobfish, the ugliest fish they discovered.
Yeah, it's very bad, and people they're standing around. But the only thing that's going to change anything is by changing policy, and when you have the Pelosi's all in bed with the Justice Clarence, what's his hell's name?
Scalia.
No, that's Anthony Scalia.
Nah.
The other one is Clarence Walker. She was in bed. She's been in, signing away our rights. The whole Obama administration, and Gaga, like, say, oh yeah, crops, they're good. I don't know how did she say it? Something crops are good. But she didn't say genetically modified, but she said but it was indicating it because then she says, look at world hunger. But she's Italian, right? So Monsanto is an Italian company.
A guinea pig.
Yeah, guinea pig. Yeah, they want to guinea pig us, them guinea fucking pigs. We're fucking guinea pigs.
Guineas calling pigs. Guinea pigs. That's a new phrase. # guinea pig, ladies and gentlemen. But, going back to just being in Brooklyn, obviously being here next to the fabulous and amazing Jaja. It's nice to be out here, Ja. I mean, Masonic temples and all sorts of Saint John the Divine cathedrals, all sorts of just Masonic, the destruction of New York architecture all around me as I walk through Big Bad New York with all the old beefs and grudges.
Yeah,
It's nice.
Brooklyn Academy of Music, right across the street. You have all the masonry, architecture. You have Brooklyn Tech High School, you notice, with the owls.
That's right. They have, and I'm not going to say Moloch, I'm going to say Lilith. Okay, they have 2 statues of Lilith out there, but formally, it's like Prince. It's like the artist formerly known as Moloch, now Lilith. That they have 2 Lilith statues out there, 2 owl statues. It's everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, everywhere in Brooklyn. You saw it in front of the Brooklyn Museum. They had a couple of owls up there, and some scarabs, and in the Brooklyn Museum, there was a big wooden owl as soon as you walked in.
It was frightening. I felt like I was walking through by the Russian River, all up by Sonoma County, all over again.
Yeah. And what about the Brooklyn Museum? Wasn't that amazing? To see.
Oh wow, that's right. Actual sarcophaguses, Egyptian artifacts. A razor that I used to use way back when. Big ups to my pal Rezo Montalvo mine. He got fired from the pizza parlor. It's okay. He's doing well, I hear. He'll be on the show later. But getting into the occult, okay, we discovered something that was kind of frightening. At being a JFK assassination scholar, as I consider myself, it's been said that the Vatican was behind JFK's hit. That this the Black Pope at the time, John Baptiste Jansen, gave the order to hit Kennedy. But who actually hit Kennedy? Was it Cuban operatives that flip-flop and were CIA Operation 40 Cats from behind the grassy knoll? Or was it Jackie Kennedy, Jackie Onassis? What do you think, Jaja?
Well, I had seen this video, and that's why I brought it up to you, because you're so fluid in this whole thing. You even went there, and you took photos. You studied the location, and you did a lot of research. But I looked at the videos, and she looked pretty damn gangster to me, like a hit woman. And all the facts seemed to resonate right on point. Nothing ever resonated right with me until I saw that video and heard another potentiality that this Onassis, Bouvier, whatever the hell she is, was,
Kennedy, Onassis, Bouvier, all she's got more names than me.
Right? Like Kardashian, right? She married three dudes and shit. And then
I know a marriage that's coming up. It's going to be much bigger than theirs. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, we're not trying to make a fake announcement.
Right.
Yeah. So Jackie Kennedy, I mean, she was a registered Jesuit assassin, a Vatican assassin. This woman knew how to shoot. You look at that video, she was right up there in Kennedy, in all angles, Right, bang. You expected that too when you looked at it. She put the thing right by her in her titties, right? Right in her titties.
It
She
looked
put that
like
gun right
it looked
down.
like she stuffed something, and you know, it's one of those things. It's, you know, was the tape altered? I mean, but we got to go with the facts. She had Jesuit connections all around, if not Scottish Rite. She was. It came out recently, an article in the Boston Globe that she was all, you know, these letters, this correspondence back and forth with these priests. These priests who also condoned her statements against the Martin Luther King. She was against Martin Luther King. Who could be against Martin Luther King? And she's got, she married this, what is it, Aristotle Onassis, who is part of, he's got Vatican ties.
Greek Orthodox? What? Totally. It's probably.
That video was very frightening. I must have seen it. You know, the whole Zapruder film's just, it's just amazing to watch. You're seeing history. You know, like you said, I was there. I felt like JFK's spirit orb following me as I was doing the entire investigation on my own. But it's just very chilling to analyze the video and see that it's quite possible. I mean, all these toys the CIA tinkers with. I mean, your heart attack guns and what have you. They could have. I mean, I'm not going with the driver did it theory like Bill Cooper of Demolay Masonry fame says or said. But it's kind of probable. She was. I mean, you could maybe miss from behind the grassy knoll, but she was right next.
Was she ever questioned? I mean, the thing is that she was the closest person there. Why everything else got questioned but her? I wonder, was she ever questioned? If she wasn't, then it's pretty weird, because even the smoke trails right from her area, that whole centrifugal area where he got shot, where, you know, it wasn't like going from.
That's right. And there's also smoke trails from behind the grassy knoll. I mean, it was the perfect hit, Ja. I mean, you had the Secret Service standing down. Never in the history of the presidency that ever happened. You know, how many people with guns do you see at Obama's appearances? Everybody's got guns everywhere, on all buildings, on all windows, everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they completely stood down, and you have over 50 eyewitnesses. You know, your Bill Newman's family men that were standing there. They said they heard shots more than what was released. They heard 3 shots. It was about 6 shots they heard from, again, that triangle position at Dealey Plaza. And, you know, who knows? She could have used some type of air 22 caliber gun. Who knows?
That's what it looked like. It looked small. That shit was small.
Right?
She was right up there. She did the move. Why wasn't she screaming? Why'd she bend over and crawl up on the back?
It's like she did some extra moves after the fact. You know, you figure she'd be there in shock with her husband's cranium all over her, but she, you know, they want to say, oh, well, didn't you see she was, just in the car screaming, right? But she gets up, and they want to say out of love, she tries to refigure the scraps of his cranium back into his head. That's what they want to say.
She was shoving the gun right down her bra.
It looked, again, Ja, it looked like she very well could have put something underneath. I don't know, but that's what it looked like, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's perfect hit. Perfect hit. The women are the least suspected women, always. They're the biggest terrorists. They make the best double agents. They make the best spies.
Right.
You know, I mean, why not Jackie O? She already flip-flop.
And there's a motive as well. We went over it. I mean, JFK was a horn dog, according to the book.
Oh, yeah, he was banging out Marilyn Monroe. Why wouldn't a beautiful woman like Jackie O get pissed off enough that her damn fucking scumbag husband, president or not, was sticking it in the blonde over there?
Yes, that is pretty messed up. There's also, I mean, leading into an event that recently happened in China. I mean, JFK could have also been hit because he wanted to expose UFO phenomenon, like his predecessor Dwight D. Eisenhower. Okay, and recently you have China. Some villagers were shocked that about 3 UFOs crash landed in their crops. And the Chinese government's all over that. Of course, the Chinese government has covered up evidence of ancient pyramids in China. So they don't want anybody that... It's hush-hush when it comes to extraterrestrials. And again, everybody and their mama is talking about extraterrestrials, but they don't give you the facts. Okay, why would the Jesuits, who now say, or that they're getting ready to make a statement that that aliens have been among us all this time? Okay, you have the Vatican getting ready to admit the existence of aliens, and you have all these sightings, and it's the past repeats itself. Could Kennedy have been killed because he was going to disclose UFO phenomenon? I think so. I think Marilyn was killed because of that as well. I've heard from people like Jim Mars.
Yeah, I don't believe that though. I mean, that's something else, but I don't believe. I think that he was killed because of he was talking about exposing that there should be no secret societies.
That's exactly.
That was in part, and I think they just wanted him out, and then they probably hyped up Jackie on how to do it, and then gave her the ins and the outs, and told her and knew she was upset. And you know how these guys do? They skull fuck you and get into your head and tell you what you could do, and we got you, and don't worry. We know you're upset. We'll take care of you after that. You just got to do it this way and play it this way. That's how they all do. They all play. I mean, look what happened. People go, "Oh, who's Jaja? Why? Why would those guys steal from you? Nobody knows who you are. What happens? You and I go to the laundromat, and who the fuck we see there?
Oh, wow.
Aftermath and shit. Aftermath showing up a fucking bodyguard in the fucking laundromat. So what the fuck you doing here? You're their bodyguard from over there, but you in Staten Island just happen to be here when we're over here. Okay, all right.
But it's okay, you got your bodyguard now.
That's right, baby. We was cleaning up them dirty sheets, and we let them know it. They from the Brooklyn streets.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to this Damage Control meets the Bruce Montalvo show. Many more to come. So stay tuned.
Yeah, we be cleaning up the mess as the destroyers left. See what I'm saying? That's it. You just take your best. We be giving you the best. Straight up, nothing less, motherfuckers.
That's right, telling you the truth and nothing but the truth. It's Bruce and Jaja signing out. Stay tuned.
Peace.
Prepare yourselves for mass arrest, bloodshed, stun guns, civil disobedience, and maximum security resettlement facilities for political dissidents.
Get your guns up, time to load up. The revolution has just begun. Get your guns up, time to stock up. There's a victory to be won. When disaster strikes back, you read the riot act, and we aren't having that. Go get your strap and pack. Get your guns up and try and counter that. Wanna see us all react, listen for the warning shot.
Drip, drop, fist fight, vilify, different tribe. Ready, aim, fire, light, another stick of dynamite. Drone spies, genocide, end times, attack lives. Fukushima, ignite, stock up on the iodine. Knock down, blackouts, trying to get us mapped out. Special forces on the front, some are telepathic. Backdoor gadgets, strap us down in shackles. It will never happen, cause I'm collecting Mac 10s.
Get your guns up, time to load up. The revolution has just begun. Get your guns up, time to stock up. There's a victory to be won. When disaster strikes back, you read the riot act, and we aren't having that. Go get your strap and pack. Get your guns up and try and counter that. Wanna see us all react, listen for the warning shot.
Open the doctrine, take a look to the bottom. A product of our times, let's just wake up and get modern. Or will it be infected with the plague of bubonic? About to give your asses all a major colonic. Disconscious, that makes you haters astonished. With knowledge like a scholar in the spirit of Joplin. Obnoxious, I'm playing games as a soccer. Ironic with the chronic, I'm a lyrical monster. Cock my revolver, forever solving. And if you gotta comfort with my interest, pin the donkey. Let's stay platonic, cause you do not stick. The diagnostics on the masses are evolving. Agenda 21's on, we're not the right wing. Go try recruiting us all and try to profit. This is my conquering song, check the synopsis. They're philosophically depleted and agnostic. Out of state, army base, TSA, pepper sprays, bioweapons, all used on the beta race. Keep us safe, they're all trade, it was staged. Double agents in our face, television's a disgrace. Scripted by the CIA, more milk, stored food. The price you pay to pour the truth, shoot, shoot, jack food. The Constitution is the root, boom, boom, ground crew. Another trooper flies the group, get your broom, call it truth. Who would film the fool's moon?
Get your guns up, time to load up. The revolution has just begun. Get your guns up, time to stock up. There's a victory to be won. When disaster strikes back, you heard the riot act, and we aren't having that. Go get your strap and pack. Get your guns up and try and counter that. Wanna see us all react, listen for the warning shot.
Airborne virus, get yourself a license. Seismic seizures, breathing in the ether. Dengue fever, sending us diseases. Waterboard generals that give us all a reason. Hostile, fugitive, locking up the Nubians. Body bags of dubious, tapping rack will do you win. Not fit, toxic, levels up atomic. Suck up on artillery, get prepared to pop it.
Get your guns up, time to load up. The revolution has just begun. Get your guns up, time to stock up.